Hi you guys, it is August 1st and I wanted you to see the results of really growing a lot of things vertically. But what I'm going to concentrate on and give you today is a tour of how all of my melons have been doing. So let's start right over here, and this is the only one that did not go vertical, and that would be the Royal Golden. I got at Baker's Creek, and this is the one that is the most behind. Next up, I do not have a seed catalog or seed packet for this. I bought this at the greenhouse last year, harvested the seeds myself, and these are sugar cube melons. And obviously they are in containers, on top of containers. I'm using like a Lazy Susan. And on this one, I have 2 tomato cages zip tied together. Look at how cute that is. Are they not gorgeous? There's a full video on this, and look at how plentiful this one over here is. All right, let's keep it moving. Look how gorgeous these zinnias are. Peppers. These are called frog finger eggplant. They're so interesting. Let me see. Look at that little thing right there. Eggplant, Chinese string, pepper. Okay, huge, huge, huge success. Sugar Baby watermelon, Ferry Morris. I think this is Home Depot's or Lowe's brand. I've got so many in here. There's 2 down here. Look at how huge this one is, hanging right from the center. Can you see that? Another one over here. This one's a big daddy right here. And then there's 2 down here as well. And I think there's a few more I can't quite see. You know how they hide on you. But look at how gorgeous this is and trellised up. I kept training it, weaving it. I hand pollinated things. I spent a lot of time, and now I'm being rewarded for that time. Now let's move on to this one. This one right here, ooh, broke my heart, Fredo. Broke my heart. And this is True Chartreuse. I've just been calling her True. And we have a nice surviving melon here. Hopefully this will produce something for me. Alright guys, we're in here. We're gonna taste True Chartreuse. I've already got some seeds that I used. I harvested myself a few years ago. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get more of these seeds because they're an heirloom, so why not? And I've already got ideas of brewing on what I can do. I tried to plant these last year, but the groundhogs kept eating them before they even got their first leaves. So here she is. I don't think this is the melon that Meaningful Beauty uses, because it looks just about rotten. And I've already pre-sliced this, and you can see the tendril here. That was a big clue. It had already dried out, which was a sign of ripeness. As soon as I cut this, I brought it inside and I let it ripen a little bit more, and I could start to smell melon. And then I refrigerated it. First I cut it, and look at it. Oh yeah, she's a keeper. So then I went ahead and put the cap back on and refrigerated her so that we could have some nice tastings. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to scoop out all the seeds. I'm gonna put them in the colander and wash them. And then I'm gonna cut this melon up. I'm gonna put it into this gorgeous hand-painted plate that I love. And then we will do some tasting. Oh, it is so good, you guys. And it made a pretty good sized plate here. Fantastic. And these right here, they make excellent little composting containers to keep in your fridge for when you're ready. I've got 3. I stack them up because it's got a nice little lip here and they won't go anywhere, and I shove them to the back of the fridge. All right, here you guys, here we go. Here is our newly washed seeds that I got out of this one here, and I've labeled it. That's my speak. I just call this true because I cannot pronounce this. And you also want to put the year here. As these start to dry, you will come around and start picking these tiny little bits out because they'll start to give way and be easier for you. Oh, you guys, they're so good. I have so many thoughts here as to what I can do. Therefore, I wanted to make sure I saved just about each and every seed that I could. But they are heirlooms, so each year that you plant these and make another melon, you can take those seeds. The next year, plant that, clean out your seeds, do just like I just did. Get yourself some more seeds, plant another melon. It's continuous. It's the circle of life. Heirlooms are very old, all right? They're not genetically modified, so you can keep that circle of life going. Check out my Etsy shop, T-Shirt Gardening Company, featuring gardening, no-mo-may, sewing, tiny house, Zen meditation designs. Link in box below. And at one point, this thing was so massive with leaves and blooms and full and healthy that I had to tie this string to this one, which is way more secure because these, again, are just 2 tomato cages zip tied together to help me to create this height. And they're huge tomato cages, by the way. So, I mean, look, this is almost up to the roof line here. Last and final melon I've got here is a French melon. It's a second of a French melon. Noir De Carmes melon. Is that not lovely? And look at all the little babies I've got here. I've been letting the bees hand pollinate this one. Quite honestly, because by the time I got this started to develop, I was sick of hand pollinating. Let me see, was that 4? I think there's 4 of them on here that I can see. So the bees have done their job for sure. Oh, look, here comes another one. Excellent. And this is on 2 smaller, oh look, right there by my hand, didn't even see that. Tomato cages zip tied together. Just look way, way smaller than these ones over here. So I am super excited. I can't wait for all of my melons. This over here is a green bean tower. And again, it is on 2 tomato cages zip tied together. You can see that right there. Lovely, isn't it? And since I put it next to the step, I should be able to come up here and pick the majority of those. Gonna do the same thing over here, but I ran out of zip ties, so I gotta go get some more of those. Look at all of these lovely little herbs that I've got. I bury the compost right here in place, so usually there's one area of the yard or in the garden space that I'm trying to refortify the soil and for next year basically. So I do a lot of composting in place. Look at this beautiful bean archway here. Again, tomato cages that were almost a little bit wonky. I was debating about throwing them out. I'm glad I didn't. That's going to be beautiful. And look at these gorgeous wildflowers. These are the Jones B-Mix flower collection, and that's just a little taste of them. And you can see that I use grass as a mulch, weed suppressant, and also to keep that moisture in, then when you water, and to add some nitrogen to the soil. Here we've got Hilda. And let's look at the last thing here, and that would be this General Lee cucumber. I've got two of them right here back to back. These things can really, there's another one back here, can crank out the cucumbers. Look at this. I haven't even been looking out here today. The tips got eaten off by the groundhogs. That's why there is pepper everywhere, so that I can detour them. But look at that, all set up here. This one isn't gonna make it to produce cucumber for me. Right against my handrail. We've got a sunflower pumpkin patch out here. Tomato bins. This Italian squash is super. I thank you so much for watching today. If you would please subscribe and like, that would be super sweet. Love you. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.